This is Project Patches, a 1973 Porsche 914 owned by none other than Shmee. So for those who don't know Shmee, I'll leave a link down in the description below to his channel. Basically, he's got a unit the size of ours, which has got hypercars, supercars and high performance cars, as well as memorabilia, and you name it, he's got it. Every man's dream, basically. And he's actually brought this beautiful example of a Porsche, which is not going to be beautiful after we start tearing it apart, because it's got its issues, just like most classic cars. Now, we did have a prod around in the first episode. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. But yes, Patches is named Patches for a reason. Now, it's going to be a good journey, this, but Tim is actually coming today at 1 o'clock, and it is now 9 o'clock, and we need to try and strip as much of this car as possible, so we can lay all the parts out. Obviously, we've got a lot of spare parts in the front, in the back, and yeah, we'll see what Tim thinks to his financial disaster. So as you can see, Patches is looking a little bit sorry for itself. It's a little bit dusty, but we're doing a full restoration, full paint anyway, so that's not a problem. Now, if you saw the previous episode, this is filled with parts in here and in the boot as well. Now, the only problem with starting a restoration that has already been started by someone else is the fact that not everything is labelled up. There's boxes of parts and boxes of bolts where you don't know where they go. So it's just going to be one big jigsaw puzzle, basically. So first, what I do want to do is I want to get all the parts out of the car, get them spread out to see exactly what we've got. And then we can get this car on jack stands and then start taking bits off and slowly revealing the amount of misery that we are going to go through with the restoration, because it looks good on the surface, but it's not. It's not good. Now, with this being a mid-engined car, that means that there's a lot of storage space in this front area. So this is actually a 4-cylinder, and the engine is tucked away just behind the driver and the passenger. Now, the previous owner has taken full advantage of the storage area by filling it with the previously removed parts. Right, so that's most of the items off the front stripped. We can't actually take the wings off because they're actually spot welded to the car, so we need to have a look at that and see what we can do. And now it comes to the mother load of parts that we have in this boot. So what we need to do is take all this out. We need to take stock of what we have because we're not sure if we're missing parts, we're not sure if we've got extra parts. So we'll get it all laid out behind the car and then we'll see what kind of condition the tub is in inside there. Right, we've removed all the stuff from the boot and we've placed it down there. Now there's excessive amounts of bags of bolts, just mixed bolts everywhere. So it's going to be a challenge putting this together. Now you might be wondering why we've not taken the boot off, but we're going to let Tim get his hands dirty and take a couple of parts off this as well. But inside the boot, you can see that it's actually not in bad condition. Now, I think it's been painted before by the looks of it, and we have got a lot of original seam sealer, but there's also some that looks aftermarket as well, so I wonder what the history of that is. But apart from that, we're gonna continue stripping, so we're gonna get these lights out, we're gonna get the doors off, and then we're gonna see where we are from there. Well, we're just taking these regulators out and reinforcements have arrived.
I'm not quite sure how effective I'm going to be with this, but we're here.
We are, yes. And just tell me about that beastly red thing that you've just
a little bit different, right? Coming in the 296 GTS, which is a brand new hybrid 830 horsepower Ferrari, to come see this. But this is what I love about automotive, and it's so hard to explain sometimes, the different genres, different niches, different interests. You can be interested in all of them. And there are so many different communities and things. And since revealing this, obviously, and coming up to see you guys, we came and dropped it off before anybody knew it existed. The amount of people I've spoken to about this project and the amount of people who have come forward who absolutely love that we're doing this. And that's so cool to me because my normal community is the new supercar stuff, which is facts and figures, top trumps, the latest stuff. But then you get to this, and it's like, this has brought out some real passion. Like, I love it, absolutely love it. And it's looking a little bit different than when I last saw it.
So we have been busy this morning.
I can see that.
Taking things apart. So we've got a lot of the parts at the front and a lot at the back as well. What are your thoughts on it walking in today?
It's cool to see that. And also, when you're more familiar with modern cars, their level of complexity is a very different game. And when you see almost back to basics, how things come apart and what the parts are and where they go and how these things were made, and you understand where they came from, because without stuff like this, we wouldn't have the stuff now, right? We needed that history, the motorsports of the past, the cars that launched, some of these iconic models that have really directed the whole industry. And when you see it like this, you start going through it and you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh yeah, I know what that is. Oh, okay, got it. You know, like bit by bit. It's really cool. It's really cool.
The modern day cars are just so complex, like you say. There's so much wiring, and this is just simple. It's easy. You look at it, you can see how it comes apart. It's dead easy. It's so simple. I love it.
Unless a customer turns up with a load of random parts and you have no idea where they came from.
Okay, yeah, that is an issue. That is a little bit of an issue. We've got a lot of parts down there and at the back, just bags of bolts and stuff, basically, that we need to piece together.
Like I said before, this is a challenge for you guys.
It is. It's definitely a challenge.
It's engineered. I'll pretend I took it all apart just to see if you were up for the test.
So you've come down today to put this jigsaw back together, right?
Or to keep taking it apart?
Yeah, let's do the
to strip it down a bit more?
Yeah, we'll continue stripping it down.
Let's like just find a random bolt, undo it, go, next.
Fantastic.
That's how it works?
So we've got a lot of the things off the car so far, but we've got the door to take off, we've got the boot to take off, a couple of little odds and ends, and then hopefully, Tim, we will be able to get some power to this and maybe start it, maybe crank it.
Fingers, toes, arms, legs, everything crossed?
Everything crossed.
See where we get to. Figure it out.
Yeah, it's better to have the content.
Ready?
Yep.
There we go.
we go.
That sounds.
Now, like, I'm buzzing, absolutely buzzing. Wow.
Got it
So
running.
exciting.
Got it running.
Nice one.
Well done.
Nice one.
Easy.
Yeah.
And then,
Does that just go straight through?
beautiful, look at that.
Oh, I was expecting a challenge. That was easy.
Final thoughts?
It's been fun.
It has.
I have never done so much by way of, I'm going to say attempting, joining you and taking a car apart. I know it's the easy part, taking it apart. The hard bit is putting it back together. But it's still interesting to see what we were saying earlier, the way this is made, the simplicity almost of like the interior, the way you just unscrew a few things and boom, out it goes.
Yeah, it's just so simple. You just look at the interior and you can find the bolts, you can find the screws, just take them out and it pops out. Hopefully.
Again though, that's the easy bit because we've still got axles, we've still got...
Yes, so we're going to continue on the front axle, remove that, and the rear axle and diff, and we're going to continue doing that. But Tim, your time here has come to a close.
For the time being.
For the time being, because you've got 2.5 hours to go.
We've got a long old journey. We've got a long old journey, but I tell you what, I can't wait actually to get back to the country and come visit this again and see where you're at, and then the exciting things with it, because it's the whole process, right? It's the journey.
It is.
And it's even more rewarding at the end, knowing that whole adventure that made it possible.
Yeah, and you can always look back on these videos and you can always see where the car has been and how it's come to where it is now.
And what it looks like. No secrets underneath.
Exactly.
Camera tells all.
It does, and there's no corner of this car that won't be touched by us, because this is going to be brand new when it's done.
Yeah.
It will be, and we can't wait to get it painted, to get it trimmed out, to get it running on the road again. And obviously we got the engine started. Fantastic.
Mega. It's absolutely mega. It's been such a cool, like, just day, just taking this in, and obviously this is far from complete, but bring it on. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your work. Thank you for everything. This is really cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
And yeah, we'll continue on the axles. You can always count on Tim to turn up in a brand new Ferrari 296 GTS to see his banged up Porsche 914. So now what we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on taking this front axle out. So it should be fairly simple, hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully no snapping bolts. So we'll get this front axle off first and then we'll move on to the rear. Right, while my dad's in the background just taking some measurements of the geometry of the car, because obviously we've got the banana to sort out, which will be in a couple of episodes' time, we've actually managed to get this front subframe off. So one thing we need to make sure is not to bend that steering rack rod. So we've separated it from the inside and just gently tapped it to get a little bit of vibration in there, and it actually came off nicely. So just slow, nice and steady, came out nicely, off it out. Off it out, off it went. Now we're going to move on to the rear, so we need to get that rear running gear off. We're going to leave the engine and gearbox in for now, get the running gear off, and then take it from there. Right, success. We've managed to get the front and the rear running gear off. So that only leaves the engine and gearbox, which we will do in the next episode. So this build is really coming along, and we can actually get access down here to see this sort of geometry issue that we've got. So that's going to be it for this video. Do check out Shmee 150. I'll leave a link down to his channel in the description. Also check out the first episode on this build. And with that being said, we'll catch you in the next 914 episode.